الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله وسلم الكريم أما بعد. Inshallah, we'll be reciting Surah Al-Ma'idah, also a little bit of Surah Al-An'am today, inshallah. We'll be completing about 7.5 juz today, inshallah. Surah Al-Ma'idah, this word, this name that has been given to the surah is actually from the ayah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about, where the people, they asked Isa alayhi salatu wasalam they made a request that asked your Rabb, رَبَّنَا أَنزِلْ عَلَيْنَا مَائِدَةً مِنَ السَّمَاءِ. There was a request made to Isa alayhi salam, and Isa alayhi salam made dua. So that is how we come up with the name Ma'idah. Ma'idah actually was one of the miracles, of course, that was given to Bani Israel, where they would get food straight from the skies. So we get the name from there on. In this surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions different rulings regarding what is halal to eat, what is haram to eat, what can you eat, what is permissible, what is not permissible. Also, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala goes into the rulings of wudu, how to make wudu, how to perform wudu. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu idha qumtum ila as-salah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions the 4 basic fara'id of wudu. Anyhow, further on, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions, Allah ta'ala highlights a very beautiful story, right? We spoke about this before also, but we didn't really get a chance to go into details with the Bani Israel. Bani Israel, of course, these people, they were ones that had tortured the Anbiya in many different ways. When Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, of course, was their Nabi at the time being, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions that Musa alayhi salatu wasalam had told them that they had seen various signs, so many signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so many miracles of the Anbiya. But yet again, they were very stubborn into actually acting upon whatever the Nabi was telling him to do so. So anyhow, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions that there was a time when Musa alayhi salatu wasalam was ordained by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to go to Baytul Maqdis and take back Baytul Maqdis from the people that were ruling and the people that had overpowered Baytul Maqdis at the time. And those are the people with the name, of course, the nation was named as Amalaqa. And these individuals, of course, they were from the progeny of Ad, Qawm Ad. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about them in the Quran too. And these individuals, of course, Qawm Ad, we know Allah ta'ala talks about how strong these individuals were, how tall these individuals were. So they were from the same progeny. And these people were very strong also. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Musa alayhi salam to go and fight them and get back what is yours, of course. So Musa alayhi salam, him being ordained by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he tells his tribes, the 12 tribes, he gets them ready and they go. And on the way they're almost there, Musa alayhi salatu wasalam stops by to take some rest, and then he tells 12 of the leaders, right, of those tribes, 12 tribes, he tells them to go ahead and go see these people and meet them and see what they're doing, what they're up to. And these people did not have any idea of who they're going to deal with. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, and the reason why I'm mentioning this is because many times we have blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ni'mat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we overlook them, right? We do not tend to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for those ni'mats. And when Allah ta'ala takes them away, we sit there crying. We sit there, oh man, Allah ta'ala took this thing away from me, and Allah ta'ala took. We should always bake this habit and inculcate this habit where we thank Allah ta'ala for every single thing we have. Anyhow, Musa alayhi salam is there, the 12 leaders, they go. And when they go and they see these people, it's huge, tall people, strong people. And one of them, of course, one of the guys was passing by and he sees 12 guys. He grabs them and he takes them to the king. And he takes them to the king, and the king says, okay, what are you doing here? And they're forced to tell them the truth. We're here to fight you. Okay, you were going to fight us. How are you going to fight us? Huge, big people, strong people, right? So these people are shocked. Now the king is asking these people, what should we do with these guys? Should we kill them or what? So some people say, you should kill them. Some people say, no, let them go, so that they can go back to their leader and tell them that who are we dealing with here? So the king says, okay, let them go. So anyhow, these 12 leaders, they're loose. They go to Musa alayhi salam back, and before they're able to deal with the entire the community, of course, the entire 12 tribes, they first meet Musa alayhi salam. Musa alayhi salam tells them that, you know what, make sure you do not say anything to anyone, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised us victory. So what? Allah Ta'ala wants us to go ahead and fight, and Allah Ta'ala will give us this land, inshallah. But what do these 12 leaders do? 10 of them out of the 12, 10 of them, they go ahead and tell their tribes. And they go away. And what do they tell Musa alayhi salatu wasalam? They tell him, Ya Musa, you go. You and your Rabb go and fight. Inna ha huna qa'idun. We are sitting here, we'll sit here and relax here. You and your Rabb go, to go fight. Right? Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, of course, seeing this, right? He was very hurt. And Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, he couldn't take this, and he made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And which is towards the end of this juz, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about how Bani Israel were cursed. لَعِنَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا مِنْ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ عَلَى لِسَانِ دَاوُودَ وَعِيسَى بْنِ مَرْيَمَ. On the tongue of Dawood alayhi salam and the tongue of Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. These individuals, these people were cursed. Why? Because they saw the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yet they did not come closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, amazingly, what punishment Allah ta'ala gave these individuals. They did not fight in the path of Allah. They did not go ahead and take that step. What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala confined them in a land, in an open land, right? And they were in that land, of course. They were going towards Sham. They were going towards Baytul Maqdis. And yet they wanted to return back to their homeland, which was Egypt, of course. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, amazing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them the adhab of, Allah ta'ala says it in the Quran, where Allah Ta'ala confined them in a land. There was no walls around them. They would travel from the morning till the evening. They would be traveling. And yet, in the evening, they'll be in the same place where they started from. And this continued, not for 1 year, not for 2 years. This continued for 40 years. Allah Ta'ala mentioned it himself. This continued for 40 years. Why? You do not think the ni'mat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah Ta'ala can prove, and Allah Ta'ala can punish you in ways you cannot even imagine. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable me and all of us to understand and put into practice. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to understand the Quran and to inculcate the Quran, and thank Allah Ta'ala for all of his ni'mas.